Hey everybody, Brock Frady here, helping you enjoy your ride. In today's video, we're going to take a look at a 2017 Lexus IS200t. T stands for turbo. We're coming to you today from Flo Lexus of Greensboro in beautiful Greensboro, North Carolina, where I work as a Master Certified Lexus Sales Associate. I would love an opportunity to work with you on your next Lexus new vehicle or pre-owned vehicle purchase. If you'd like to work directly with me, then please feel free to contact me. I'll leave my contact information in the description box below. The front of the 2017 IS model is even more aggressive than the 2016 model. You can see that you have the bigger areas down here that are underneath the daytime running lights on the far corners there, and those are not open actually, those are closed. So they normally they would be open to cool brakes, but they're not open on this vehicle. And you have your daytime running lights right there, and we'll take a look at those more in depth whenever we start it up. You have LED lights there in the front. Let's take a look at the smart key system and how to operate that. You have lock on the top, unlock down below that, and the trunk button, and also the panic alarm. Pressing lock once locks it up. Pressing unlock once unlocks just the driver's door. Unlock twice unlocks all four doors. And then you can hit the hold button down there below, and that will pop the trunk. And then your panic alarm is down at the very bottom, and that is extremely loud. Let's go take a look at the trunk. You can see that you've got a little cargo net there that is clipped to the edges. And this is really handy, a little tab here that you can pull and you can store things down there, things that would tend to roll around, and they'll stay securely in the trunk without rolling around. This is actually a front license plate bracket, and that's required for states that require a bracket. You have your first aid kit down there, and that first aid kit's no joke. It actually has like it's not just, you know, band-aids and a Q-tip. It's got like a thermal, you know, one of those aluminum foil looking thermal blankets and everything, plus more. Those back seats will fold. That's a 60-40 split seat. Also, you have a kind of like a felt material that lines the inside of the trunk and on the back of that back seat, and that's for sound dampening. That helps reduce road noise. And let's take a look at the spare tire area. And there's your spare tire. It's like a hook, and you can take that and hook it up to the lip of this edge here, and it'll hold that up for you. Of course, you've got your tire changing equipment here on the right. I was asked about this before in a video. What in the world is this? And this is actually a tow hook. And so what you would do in the event that you have to have the vehicle towed, you've got a little cutout here, right there. And this cover pops off, and you've got a little place to screw this in. And in the event that a tow truck has to pull your vehicle, that's what that does. So that's called a tow hook. This is a wheel lock nut. You see the star pattern there in the middle of that? That star pattern matches that star pattern there, see? And you can see those lug nuts, they're all the same except that one. And you would have to use this to get that lug nut off. The reason is that is going to help prevent your wheels from being stolen. Then there's your jack over here on the left. That's your trunk. Now, another way you can access your trunk other than using the key fob is going to be a little rubber button. You see that right there, the black part? And you have to have this key fob on your person in order to use that. But when you have this, let's just say this is in my pocket, I can press that in and it will pop the trunk for me. Right there's your backup camera. And you can see right here it says IS200t. That means it has a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo engine. Your dual exhaust there. And the dual exhaust, the shape of the dual exhaust is also changed for the 17 model. It's a little different in 16. Also, you have little dots here on the bumper. There are 4 of those dots in the back. There are 4 of those dots in the front, and that's park assist, and that's what causes the beeping sound in when you're like at parking lot speeds, and it's a sonar sensor that beeps when you get too close to something. You have your fuel door here, and when I try to open it, nothing happens. And there's also not a place to open it on the inside like there are on most cars, and that's because it's connected with the locking and the unlocking of the doors. So when I go to the inside of this door handle and unlock the door, now I have access to open the fuel door. So I can push that in, and it says premium unleaded fuel only, no diesel. Okay, so if you had a question about whether or not you can use diesel in this car, you cannot. You see that right there? It says no diesel. Don't use diesel. I don't know if anybody that would think that that would be okay, but don't use diesel. And that's how you lock the door back. Now, I mentioned the smart access, so I'm going to close this up. And there's a little dimple right there on that door handle. You see on the very front of that door handle right there? That's what locks the door. That does only one thing, and that locks the door, and watch how fast it locks the door. And all I did was just touch it very gently. I don't have to hold it on there or anything like that. Just touch it. The lights blink. That light in the mirror there blinked whenever I locked the door, and also there's lights up front and in the back that blink. Now, to unlock the door, all I do is act like it's already unlocked. I can simply grab the door handle and open the door. Watch how fast this happens. See that? So that's really nice. Let's take a look at the heart of the beast. Now, to open the hood up, all you need to do is feel for the little lever that's just to the right of the Lexus emblem. And that's going to be it right there. Now, the engine in the IS200t has 241 horsepower. It's a 4-cylinder, 2-liter turbocharged engine that produces 258 pound-foot of torque. Note that it's got more torque than it does horsepower. That's what makes it feel so feisty. It has a lot of pull when you mash on it. It'll go 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds. It's rear-wheel drive. It has an 8-speed sport direct shift transmission with paddle shifters. The fuel economy is 22 miles per gallon in the city, 32 miles per gallon on the highway, and a combined fuel economy of 26 miles per gallon overall. With the key fob on your person, all you do is put the foot on the brake and tap that start button. You can see your battery is over here on the left side, and the battery is located further back in the engine bay for weight distribution. That actually puts that weight more toward the center of the vehicle. You've got your air box here, coolant, that's what the pink is. You've got your oil dipstick there, your oil filler there, and it does use zero weight oil. It is 0W20, and that is fully synthetic oil. So you only change the oil every 10,000 miles. You can see where it says turbo right there. Your brake fluid is what's in that little container there, and it's that golden fluid. You've got relay and fuses here. See, all I did was pull this cover up. You may not even realize you can do that, but it's just a little piece that's kind of snapped into place with these little arms here. And it's also got this material underneath for sound dampening. And then that will actually just fall right back into place. Take a look at your LED lighting right there. That's your LED headlights and LED daytime running lights. Those are really nice and bright. See how the tail lights are? Isn't that really cool looking? You see that little triangle? There is a camera right there. See that camera? And that actually sees lines on the road while you're driving. So to give you a little perspective of where that's pointed to, remember where that was, and that sees down there, and it goes like that and like that. And that sees the lines on the road, and it can determine when you are moving outside of your lane. And it's going to warn you, and it will also help steer you back into your lane if you drift outside of your lane far enough. And that's part of a package of safety features called Lexus Safety System Plus. And the whole package of safety features included a pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, high-speed radar cruise control, intelligent high beams, lane departure alert with steering assist. Now, the one I covered was lane departure alert. Now, it also has intelligent high beams. So that same eye right there, that camera right there, can also determine when you're driving with your brights on if you are around other cars. And it's going to dim your high beams. So what you can do is drive all the time at night with your high beams on. And when it senses that you're around another vehicle, it's going to automatically dim your high beams so you don't blind other people. Pre-collision system with pedestrian detection. There is actually a radar right there in the middle, and that is used to determine if there are other objects or there are objects in front of the vehicle. And if while you're driving at lower speeds, it can detect a pedestrian, and it will use brake assist, and it will also begin to apply the brakes if it determines that you are not braking soon enough and you are approaching an object that you could possibly collide with, because you obviously don't want to be hitting people. And then finally, you have high-speed radar cruise control. And I'll show you how that works when we get on the inside. But when you set your cruise control, the vehicle can maintain a preset distance between the front of the IS and the back of the car in front of you as soon as it starts tracking it. And I'll explain how that works. And the crazy thing is about this engine setup is that the IS250 had a 2.5 liter V6 that produced 204 horsepower. And this is a 2 liter 4-cylinder turbo that produces 241 horsepower. So you've got a major horsepower boost with a drop in the engine size. Love it. You also have another feature here called blind spot monitor, and you can see there is an icon right there, and there is one of those on the mirror. This is the passenger mirror. There's one of those on the driver's side also, and that's what will light up whenever someone is in your blind spot. And it also has something called rear cross traffic alert. So let's say that you're backing out of a parking space and someone is coming behind the vehicle from the left or the right. So you're in reverse and someone starts that way behind the vehicle. It's going to start beeping rapidly inside the car, and it's going to flash the lights inside the blind spot monitor inside the mirrors, and that's going to let you know that be careful, somebody's approaching from the left or the right, even if you can't see them through the backup camera. Now, the base price of this vehicle with your basic standard equipment and everything before any optional equipment is $37,825. And then when you add the blind spot monitor with the heated outside rearview mirror, 18-inch alloy wheels, intuitive park assist, premium package, rear lip spoiler, and the trunk mat cargo net wheel locks and bumper applique, that grand total comes to $40,788. This is the $975 delivery, processing, and handling fee from Lexus. That gives you a grand total MSRP of $41,763. You can see you've got side airbags here. You have a total of 10 airbags inside the IS, and that is standard. So you've got side impact airbags, you got side curtain airbags here, airbag on the outer portion of the back and the front seats. You also have something called the Latch safety system, and you can see there is a dot right there, and underneath that you can see there is a hook, and that's mounted to the frame of the vehicle, and that's what you're going to hook your baby seat into. And there are 2 hooks there, and then there are 2 hooks on the other side. You can see you have 3-point seatbelt harness for all positions in the back, so 3 positions for that in the back. There's your cup holder. Now with your child safety seat, another thing you're going to want to do, you see where it says top tether? You're going to want to hook, there's another portion on the back of a child safety seat that you can go, that let's say a seat were here and you had it, just placed in the seat. Well, there's an additional seat belt on the very back of it. And you would take that from the back of it and run it underneath this headrest, and then you would hook it in to right there, and you can pop this open, and there's another tether right there, and you're going to want to tether that in so that the safety seat is actually tethered into the vehicle in 3 different positions. There, the latch system, and then right here, tethered there, making it the most secure. You can see you have your power window switches here and your door locks. And I love how this is all soft, and soft door panels here, and they all really come together well on that door. Looks nice. The switches for your driver door controls are here, and you have one-touch automatic window switches for all 4 positions. That means you can just push it once and the window will roll down all the way without stopping, and then back up. You have a lock here, and that's going to lock the access to all the power windows. Lock and unlock for the doors. Power window switches. I can press left, use this controller keypad to control the mirrors, and that's for the left and the right. I've got a little place here for a bottle holder and then just additional storage. Seat, the whole seat forward and then backward. This control will move the seat forward part of the seat bottom up and down. That's great for long trips or any trips. This one will move this angle the seat up, and then this will move the whole seat up. See that? And then this is for the seat back. And then you have lumbar support here. Very nice. Remember the intelligent high beams that I told you about? That's where you actually push that in. Push that in, and then you take this switch and lock it forward, and now the automatic high beams are on. And I can tell because that little green icon there that says auto, and it looks like a headlight, that is on right now. And that means the automatic high beams are now on. So again, it's a 2-step process. You press that in, and then you move that forward, and now that's on. The center console is nice and wide. It has several storage areas. You have 2 cup holders that are right there just to your right. And then you have a little bit of storage there that could be good for a wallet or business cards or any miscellaneous thing, your cell phone. Then you have your multi-information display dial here, and we'll go over that. Your heated and ventilated seat controls are here, and you can see I have the heated seat on right now. And it's actually a 3-level seat, so you can push it. It's off now, and then you can push it. That's the highest heat level. Next, and then this is ventilated part, and so when you press that, you may be able to hear that. So that's your fan for your seat. And then your transmission is here, and it is an 8-speed sequential shift automatic transmission. Foot on the brake, down into drive, and then you see D on the multi-information display right there at the bottom. And at any speed you can take it and shift it over, and that at that point you can shift forward to gear it up, backward to gear down. And you can see it says M1 at the bottom there now, where it did say D. Now it says M1. That means you're in manual drive. And also you can shift here with your paddles at the back of the steering wheel. That's downshift on the left and upshift positive on the right. This is called selectable drive modes, and selectable drive modes are going to allow you to change something called throttle mapping, and you turn this left and right, or you push it down. It says push for normal. For eco, I'll turn it left, and I just heard the engine change just a little bit. It idled down slightly, and then you can see by park there at the bottom of that multi-information display, it says eco. See that? And so now that changes something called throttle mapping, so that it makes the accelerator less sensitive. So it's going to require more pedal travel on the gas pedal to achieve speed. Now I can roll it to sport, and the RPMs just went back up a little bit. You see the tachometer? Watch this. So you see it's in sport right now, right? And right there by park. You see the tachometer? Watch this. I'm going to roll it to eco. That's eco. It's idling lower. Over to sport. Just went up. What sport does is it's the opposite of eco. It requires less pedal travel. So here's the gas pedal. So if it were in eco, I'd have to push it further down to achieve speed. If it's in sport, I only have to push it down, or I don't have to push it down as far to achieve speed. Then normal, I can push it for normal, and nothing is on the dash right now. And so this is normal is kind of like a combination of eco and sport. I can do that at any speed, and I don't have to stop or anything like that. I can do it whenever I want to. Traction control off. I can hit that, and I see traction control turned off in that center display. Snow mode will start the vehicle off in a lower gear ratio to make the wheels turn more slowly to reduce the likelihood of wheel slippage in bad weather. The remote control for your display that you have all right here. When you press menu, it takes you to that screen. And now for the radio, you can see over on the left side that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these are stations that I can memorize if I want to. Tune to the station that I want using this. So let's say I want to tune to that radio station or that XM station right there. I just press down this controller and hold it and wait for the beep. And that just memorized channel 10 into position number 1. At that point, if I want to memorize another station, I can take this controller and roll it to the right, and that's going to place that on number 2. You see that? So now it's on number 2. Then I'm going to tune again to the station that I want and press down and hold. And now that just did number 2. So now check this out. I can go over here to radio, and that's going to go. I'm going to hit it again.
PR.
And that just took it to the FM dial. See that? Now it's on FM. And let's say I wanted to memorize that station in here in this list. I'm going to roll this dial again to number 3, press down and hold. And now look what happened. I've got 2 XM stations for 1 and 2, but my third one is an FM station. See that? And the benefit of that is being able to combine AM, FM, and XM stations all in one group. And now I don't have to hop back and forth between sources. If I want to listen to my favorite XM station, I can just go here, press down, and then boom. Or if I want to go back to FM, go here, press down, and that's FM. Pretty neat. Now, you see another icon right here, and it says HD. You see that? And there's a 2 beside of that. That means that station broadcasts in HD. HD radio allows you to take advantage of the full bandwidth of any FM station. So I can see HD, and that little 2 there represents the fact that station broadcasts on 2 different HD stations. Now, that is all right here, and I can see that I'm listening to one of those stations in HD. And what I can do is go over to the left, and when I say go over to the left, I'm going to take this knob and I'm going to nudge it left, not turn it, but nudge it to the left to go over to a different page. And then I can roll down and hit multicast, and now watch what happens. See that? I'm still listening to that number 93.1, but it's the other 93.1. And it says HD1. See it there? So now I'm listening to the same station as far as the number is concerned, 93.1, but that's the other HD station. Now, to show you again, I'm going to nudge that controller to the left again, roll down to multicast. Now that should say HD2. Boom, there it is. See where it says HD2? So now I'm listening to the other 93.1. It's just the second station of that. So that's what HD radio is. And here you see it says page 1 of 6. So there are 6 pages of 6 preset stations. So I can have 36 memorized stations if I want to. And the way to think of radio and media is radio is AM, FM, and XM. Radio. Media is everything else. And I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm going to press audio on this. AM, FM, XM, radio. Then I'm going to roll it to the right, that dial, and I can see disc, Bluetooth, USB, auxiliary, and back to AM. You know what I can also do? I can even take a USB flash drive or a thumb drive, and I can, with music on it or whatever I want on it, and I can plug it in to the center console, and I can play whatever I want to from the center console, everything that has to do with this knob, this dial. And I can turn the dial left and right. I'm turning it right now. And so we're going through those selections, and then you turn it left and it corresponds. When you want to make one of those selections, you arrive at the selection of setup if you want to, and you just press down, and now I can go to setup. General, and so this is general setup for your display. And then there's a back arrow. You see the back arrow icon right there in that top corner? That corresponds with the back arrow icon here. So I press that, and it goes back into the main setup menu. I can roll it down to voice and voice volume. Recognition prompts are on, and train voice recognition. This is fantastic. I recommend doing this when you get a vehicle like this. The vehicle will say 10 phrases. You repeat each phrase, and that way it can understand your dialect and your cadence of speech more effectively, thereby understanding what you say more effectively. I'm going to hit start. We won't go through the whole thing, but I'll give you an idea.
Please say the following. Reserve a table at 8 p.m. for 4 people at Horseback Steakhouse.
Reserve a table at 8 p.m. for 4 people at Horseback Steakhouse.
Say, would you like to go to lunch tomorrow for your birthday?
Would you like to go to lunch tomorrow for your birthday? So you have an idea and then you'll go through that and it will set it up, and you'll be able to use your voice recognition more effectively. Bluetooth. That's where you would register your Bluetooth phone. Audio. So this is where you need to go in and make changes. Oh, vehicle customization. I like this. Here is a customization thing that I recommend doing, or that I would do if I got one of these, like right off the bat. Door lock settings. You see where it says automatic door unlock? By shift to P. What that is saying right now is that it is set for all the doors to automatically unlock when you shift it to park. Let me show you. I just shifted it to drive and the doors just locked. I'm going to shift it to park and watch your door lock over there. You ready? Just unlock. Now, let me present a scenario. You're riding down the road, it's 10 o'clock at night, you have to go to the store for milk. You're on a Bluetooth phone call, it's wireless. You get to the store and you're not done with your phone call, you put it in park. You're sitting in an unlocked car at 10 o'clock at night at the store. I don't recommend that. So for me personally, I'm going to go to that selection. I'm going to press down on that button and I'm going to cut that off. Now what will happen when you put it in park is this. The doors are locked right now. I'm going to shift it into park. Nothing happened. The door stayed locked. Now here's a question a lot of people ask. Well, what if I want to just get out of the car? Well, you get out of the car. You do not have to unlock it first. Watch this. It automatically unlocks and opens the door simultaneously. I just recommend going into all of this and working with setup, and this allows you to really customize the vehicle to exactly the way you want everything to work. Display, screen off, general, camera. You can adjust the brightness and the contrast of the camera and everything. Radio and media, we'll cover that in a second. Climate shows you your climate settings. And so on the far left and the far right, you have your dual zone climate control. You can go here and you can control your climate settings. I'm moving this thing to the right, or the dial to the right and to the left. And you can make selections to change the fan speed and the direction and everything. You can go here to this little list and it will show you a filter. So now you can do all that right there. That's a little bit more of a cumbersome way to do that, when you can pretty much access all of those things right there just on this touch panel. By the way, this is touch sensitive. You can touch these and raise and lower the temperature just by touch, or you can lower the temperature by touching one of the colors that corresponds with how you want the temperature to go. Okay. Connected Navi. Now this came out in 2016, and this uses a application from your phone called Scout GPS Link, and you will download that into your phone, and then you'll activate the app, you'll get it registered, and then you'll go there and it will allow you to use the nav system, that Scout GPS Link navigation through by using your phone. It'll show up right there on the screen. Okay, but you have to have your phone connected and all that stuff for that. That's a really neat thing. And then there's info, and this is going to be information about your fuel, your traffic incidents, and weather. Now you can see that below this it's grayed out, but it says USB photo 1 and 2. And so what you can do is, with a thumb drive or a flash drive, you can put a picture on the display up there so that it's your startup display, startup image. So you can customize what that screen looks like when you start your car by putting a picture on a thumb drive and placing it here in this USB port, one of these, and that will allow you to customize your startup image. I'm going to roll down here to traffic incidents, and this is showing me what's going on around the car. So that is real-time traffic according to HD radio, and then weather through the weather channel and HD radio. This is not subscription based, this is just software in the car, so you can check your weather. Pretty neat stuff. I can also use my voice to do that. Check this out. See the voice control here?
How may I help you?
Show forecast.
The forecast for today is mostly sunny with a high of 35 and a low of 31.
And then it will go to that screen and show you the specifics about the weather that day. And again, that is not subscription based. So that is free. On the right side of my steering wheel, I have a multi-directional keypad and a selection. That little dot is to make a selection. And so I'm going to go left and right on that, and it's going to affect what comes up in this multi-information display. So I'm going right. See that? And when I get to the little icon that has the gear, you see LD at the top. That's lane departure alert. PCS is pre-collision system, clock, vehicle settings, meter settings. When I press in, LDA is steering assist. All of this is on and active. So LDA is lane departure alert, and the alert type is vibrating the steering wheel. Watch this. I don't know if you heard that, I'm sure. The steering wheel just vibrated to let me know that when I get outside of my lane, this camera, there's a camera here, and it can see when I'm getting outside of my lane, and it's going to vibrate the steering wheel. Now I can make it do a beep as well, but I like the vibrating steering wheel thing. Then you can go sensitivity standard. Sway warning is on, and sway sensitivity is standard. Pre-collision system is there. You can adjust the sensitivity of that. The first selection is the eye right there. You can see an eye right there, and then you can take this and scroll down, up, down. And so scrolling down right now, this is just going to be performance information, fuel economy, tire pressure monitor system, things like that. All right, now you see where it says sway warning right there, time until rest. It shows a coffee cup. If you're swaying a lot and the vehicle is having to warn you a fair amount, it's actually going to show you that on this display, and it'll say, do you need to rest, if it has to warn you a lot. That's pretty neat. And that's for your radar cruise control and your sway warning. And when you activate your radar cruise, this is your cruise control here. So now cruise control is on, and it says radar ready up there. And at that point, I can set my cruise. And then when I do that, I set the cruise by pushing this down. At, let's say I get to 65, I push it down and the car takes over. And at that point, I can use this icon here. And when I push that, I see the radar, and I see 3 blue blocks in front of me. And those blue blocks represent the distance that it's going to maintain between my vehicle and the vehicle in front of me. And I can press that button again and decrease that distance. That's the shortest distance, that's the furthest distance. Okay, so that's your radar cruise control, how far it keeps you away from other vehicles. And then this is the lane departure alert, and you see where it says lane departure alert on, steering assist active. And whenever you get outside of a lane, it'll vibrate the steering wheel, and if you continue to drift, it will actually steer you back into your lane, gently nudge the steering wheel back into your lane. And then steering wheel audio controls are here. Mode allows you to go in between modes, AM, FM, XM, Bluetooth, CD, all those things if you want to listen to something other than what you're currently listening to. And then you have volume up and down, track, scan up and down, preset station up and down, things like that. Bluetooth is here, hang it up, pick it up, hang it up. If you have an iPhone and you have, and your phone is hooked up through Bluetooth and you have Siri active, you can press this and hold it in and wait until this screen right here transitions and you actually hear the Siri beep. It'll go beep beep. At that point, you're using a feature called Siri Eyes Free, and that screen will say mobile assistant, and you can speak into the vehicle and you're using the Siri that is native to your phone. So it's Siri Eyes Free, and you're actually using your Siri, so you can actually say things like any command that you say into Siri, you can say it into the car, including compose a text message, compose email. You see where it says DRL off, and then there's a little dash right there? That means all the lights are off right now. Rotating that to auto makes it so that the daytime running lights are on, the LED daytime running lights, parking lights, all the lights on manually. This is, and right here, that is engage the brights. The brights are on right now. And I recommend leaving them in auto so that your headlights cut on automatically as the sun is going down. See my turn signals? And if I just tap it up without fully engaging it like this, it's gonna blink 3 times so that I can just change lanes without having to do this, without having to fully engage it, okay? So watch this. We'll just gently nudge it, and it just goes 3 times. That's pretty neat. I'm gonna park it right there. You see there's a car here and a car here. I'm gonna put it right in that space. And you see how I have it turned right now? If I leave it at that angle, it's gonna end up where the yellow is. You see that? And so I would end up hitting that car if I leave it where it is. So I know that I need to turn it, okay? Now the blue lines that are on the screen are fixed, so they never move. The yellow lines do move, and they're called dynamic. Blue is fixed. The blue is there to represent, that's where I need to aim the car. I need to place those blue lines inside those white lines that are on the lot in between the cars. So once I do that, I have those blue lines lined up inside the white lines. That's when I am straight inside the space. And at that point, the yellow is going to end up lining up directly with the blue lines. And you can see the white lines there, and you can see the other one there, and you can see the yellow is all centered inside of those white lines. And so now I can just go straight back. At that point, I'm going to place the red line right on the curb. You see the curb right there? The red line is on the curb. And now let's hop out and test to see just how straight I am. But you can see I've actually got a decent amount of space on the one side. So I'm in the space pretty good. And now you can see that I put the red line on the screen. So that is that. So right now on the camera, that red line is right on the curb. So this gives you an idea of how much space I have to navigate the back, and I'm standing right at the trunk right now, so that gives me space to access the trunk if I need to. Now this is a rear view. From the back side, it looks pretty straight in there, kind of even on each side, so pretty good. This is what the map lights look like, and also the controls for the sunroof. And I can just press that and the lights will come on. This allows it to come on, the lights to come on when the doors open. And this is all the lights in the car on, except the side map lights, of course. And then here is your sunroof control. Up and down means it's going to vent the back. It's only going to open the back part, the glass. And then the right side is going to open the entire sunroof. And that's all one touch. I don't have to hold the button down to open it. Safety Connect is here, and it says SOS, and that is a free service for the first year, and it's subscription based after that. So if you get into a wreck, and let's say it's a worst case scenario, you wreck and you're unconscious and airbags deploy, the car can send a call to Lexus for help. They know where you are, what your name is, what your vehicle is, what color it is, and whether or not airbags have been deployed. So when they contact you to say, are you okay? If they get no response, they can send help to you with all of that critical information. Free for the first year, subscription based after that. Bottom side of your mirror, and that is Home Link. So this is where you can set a garage door opener or a gate, and then this will cut on and off the feature that is auto dimming. I recommend just leaving that on all the time because it'll automatically dim the mirror if someone approaches you behind you with your brights on. Analog clock. That is something that personally I think is really cool in a vehicle that is this technologically advanced. Press and hold and it'll move it there. And if you press and hold and just keep it held, it'll move it more quickly. And then I can press here and move it more quickly that way. Okay, everybody, that wraps up our look at this 2017 Lexus IS200t. I would love to know what you think about the vehicle. Please leave your comments in the comments section below. Also, if you liked this video and you would like more content like this delivered to you, hot off the press as soon as I make it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that like button, thumb it up, share it, all that other stuff. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Also, if you would like to work with me, I'd love to help you. Just visit Flo Lexus of Greensboro or see my contact information in the description box below. Remember, have a great day, everybody, and enjoy the ride.